Hey everyone, welcome back to Yoga with Jess. I'm really excited today to bring you this video, yoga for those of you who sit all day long. Now it's really going to target those areas that starts to get stiff and weak in the legs, ankles, hips, low back, and the chest and shoulders as well. So when you're ready, meet me on your mat. So to begin, stand up out of your chair or couch or car and just start to shake the body, wake it up, and then begin to knock all along the body. This is really good to just start waking up the muscles, start stimulating blood flow to every part of your body, just up and down the legs, come to the belly, chest, side hips, the glutes from sitting for so long. Starting to feel awake and alive. All right, and then when you're ready, let's come to hands and knees and press back into child's pose. So you could begin with the knees together and reach the hands out front and start to stretch the hips back towards the heels, resting the forehead gently on your mat. Or if the forehead doesn't touch the mat, you could bring a block or a pillow. But this nice opening stretch is really gonna start to stretch out the low back and the shoulders, and compressing the hips here to just allow the body to start opening up and stretching from all that sitting that we do all day. And feel free to stay there, or you could experiment opening up the hips a little bit and then sitting back. That's gonna start to stretch the groin and the inner hips. Give you a little less stretch on the low back, so that's why I like to kind of do both. Maybe you can alternate back and forth and just feel the differences there. So stay here in child's pose for a few moments. Take nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. And while you do that, I'm just going to tell you about some of the benefits of this sequence and how these postures can directly counteract all the damage that is done from sitting all day. Real quick, I'd like to thank our sponsor for this video, FlexiSpot, and we'll be showing you their standing sitting desk later on and giving you some really helpful tips as well. So unfortunately, when we're sitting all day in our car or at our desk, our muscles really start to weaken over time. We get a lot of stiffness in our ankles, our knees, our hips, and our shoulders start to round forward as we slouch over our desk, which is really damaging for the spine and the shoulders and the chest, pretty much everything. So this video is really going to target all those areas and bring some life back into the body. So I'm really excited you're here to join me. So now I'm going to meet you back in child's pose and we'll begin our sequence. So you should be nice and warmed up here, low back stretched out. And on your next inhale, slowly bring the hands back towards the hips, roll onto the balls of the feet, and give a few bounces here as the low back really starts to waken up here. And then on your next exhale, start to straighten the legs up to the sky for a forward fold. Now you might want to separate the feet about hips width distance apart here for balance. And then just relax the upper body, maybe sway left to right. And really feel the back of the legs and the hamstrings start to activate here. You could grab opposite elbows, kind of making the upper body a little heavier, and that'll allow the upper body to drop a little lower. Always breathing through any tightness or discomfort. Stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, release the elbows, take a little bend in the knees, and rounding the spine, start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow here. And when you come to stand, roll those shoulders back. Stand nice and tall. Okay, so coming back to the middle of our mat, let's place our hands on our hips and really roll those shoulders back, standing nice and tall. We're just gonna take a few ankle rolls. So shift the weight into the left foot and start to roll the right ankle. Nice big circles here, helping release some of the stiffness that's created over time. And then reverse direction. Again, keeping the spine nice and tall as we stand and do these ankle rolls. And then other side, shift the weight into the right foot and start to roll the left. You might hear some creaking and cracking. I know I do all the time. And reversing the direction here. And then slowly shake it out, coming back to center. Now taking a bend in the knees, let's bring the hands to the knees, chest is lifted, and we're just going to roll the knees clockwise, just nice and round, keeping them squeezing together here. You can keep the belly tucked in. This is just really good for opening up the knee joints, bringing some lubrication back to the area, and then reverse direction. Always breathing, and just warming up those knees here. These are great little exercises you could do at any time. You could stand up from your desk just for a few minutes and do these ankle and knee rolls. And then come back to stand. Now we're gonna inhale the arms out in front of us, bend at the elbows, place your hands on the shoulders, and start to take big, juicy rolls out and open with the shoulders here. Really bringing the shoulder blades back to touch behind you as you roll through. Standing nice and tall here. Just really feeling those shoulders open up, that chest open up here, heart is engaged and lifted. And then when you're ready, let's reverse direction. This time elbows swooping back and up and around. Breathing. And let me just turn around so that I can show you what this looks like here. There's nice big circles, bringing those shoulder blades together to touch, and then up and around, really engaging the whole back here as you roll. And again, these are just quick little exercises you can do as much and as often as you like. Just stand up from your desk real quick and do a few of these, and it'll save your back and shoulders over time. So now when you're ready, let's meet over by the wall. Okay. So coming over to any wall, again, you could do this at the office, you could do this at home. Face the wall. We're gonna bring our right hand out to the side, left arm to your hip, and then slowly start to shift the feet so they're parallel to the wall. This is a really good shoulder opening myofascial release stretch. So facing the wall, take a nice deep inhale, and exhale, slowly start to twist away from that back hand as much as you can here. Really start to feel that shoulder opening up on the right side. Breathe into any tightness as you twist, and really open up that shoulder. It's going to be a little bit of a deeper shoulder stretch than what we just did, but hopefully you're nice and warmed up now. And then when you're ready, slowly twist back, and we'll do the other side. So bring the feet back parallel and then over to the right. Let's bring the left hand out to the side, right hand to your hip. Inhale, grow long, standing nice and tall. And then exhale, start to twist over to the side. Oh, that's so nice. Really feeling this nice shoulder stretch here, bringing the shoulder blades together as you twist. Just doing this for 1 or 2 minutes per day is really gonna help over time. Oh, this feels so good. And again, the more you twist, the more stretch you'll feel. So maybe take it easy to start, and then over time you could work the twist a little deeper, whatever feels good in your body. Stay here as long as you like, but as you're ready, exhale, start to turn back to the wall and release. Now turning to face the side, place your left hand on the wall for balance, shift the weight into the left leg, and then kick the right foot up towards the buttocks. Bring the hand around, grab that foot or ankle, and then slowly, with the knee facing down, start to press into that hand and bring the heel up. This should feel really good on the quads and the front of the hips, hip flexors. When we're sitting all day and our legs are forward like this, it's really nice to kind of counterbalance that by stretching like this. Again, standing nice and tall, straight spine here. As we bend that leg, kicking that heel up. And slowly release. We'll do the other side. So placing the right hand on the wall, left leg kicks up, grabbing for the foot or ankle. And again, we don't want our knee to fall too far back or to the side. Just try to keep it nice and tucked in by your standing leg. And then use your arm strength to pull that heel up towards the glutes. Really opening up the quad muscles here. And standing nice and tall so that you really feel it in the hip flexors. This is also a super easy stretch to do at the office. You can just stand up against the wall real quick, take a few minutes. And then slowly release that leg down. So the last thing we're gonna do is a supported back bend against the wall. I know that might sound a little scary, but you have the wall behind you. So just come up nice and close. Inhale the arms up overhead. Take a bend in the elbows and reach back for the wall behind you. Now you might just be here, and that's totally great. We wanna keep the chest lifted, heart is opening up, and just start to breathe through the spine here. If this is, easy for you, maybe take the feet a little bit further and then start to bend a little bit deeper into the back as you fall for that wall behind you. And just taking a nice back bend here. Breathe through any tightness. This is so good to reverse the effects of crouching over and slouching. We want to really open up through the spine, keep everything lifted, and engage your glutes and quads as you lift and stretch back. And just press into the wall with those hands. Stay here as long as you like. Imagine breathing into the spine and just really sending that lubrication and opening flexibility into the back as you hang out there as long as you like. When you're ready, let's meet back on your mat. So coming back to the center of your mat, let's spread the legs wide and slightly turn the feet outward. Inhale the arms out to the side. Exhale, sit down, goddess pose. Now you want to double check that your knees are coming out over your toes and they're not falling too far inward or outward. But just nice deep lunge here, really starting to open up the hips, feel the knees and quads working. Let's inhale the arms up overhead and drop them back into cactus arms. So we're squeezing those shoulder blades together behind us again, opening the chest up to the sky and dropping those shoulders away from the ears here. This is a great posture to really start rebuilding strength in the legs. I'm sure you're feeling everything turned on and working right now. Just breathing through this pose for a few more breaths. On your next inhale, let's straighten those legs, bring the arms out to the side, star pose. Now everything should be lifted and reaching, nice long extension. This is just really good for lengthening out the whole body and giving a full body stretch here. One more inhale. Let's exhale, sit back, goddess pose. Inhale, stand up, star pose. Exhale, goddess pose. And do a few more rounds like this. If you'd like to test yourself too, you can come up to your tippy toes, starting to engage the calf muscles and strengthening those ankles again. And exhale, sit back, goddess. And from goddess, you could also lift the heels up. Inhale, back up. And exhale, sit. Maybe lifting those heels. Do a few rounds of those. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, arms down by your side. Now let's turn the feet in, pigeon-toed, so the toes are slightly in and the heels out. Let's clasp the hands behind our back. Inhale, lift the chest to the sky. And again, bring those shoulder blades to touch behind you. And then exhale, forward fold over the legs. And bring those hands as far as you can towards the mat. Really opening up the chest and the shoulders, getting a really big shoulder stretch here. You should also be feeling an extreme stretch along the back side of the legs here, the hamstrings and the calves that get really stiff after sitting. Just breathing as you get a little bit lower towards the mat. One more breath here, trying to straighten those legs and squeeze those shoulder blades together. See if you could press your palms together too. That'll help straighten the arms and bring the shoulder blades together. And then slowly release the clasp, bring the hands back down to the mat, and pressing into those hands, slowly heel toe your feet together to touch. Inhale, let's halfway lift, come up onto the fingertips, really stretching out through the low back as you lift here. And exhale, lower. Now with the hands and feet where they are, start to sit the butt down, nice low chair position, and inhale the arms overhead for chair pose. So here we want to shift the weight back into the heels like we're sitting into a low chair. Inner thighs are squeezing, inner knees squeezing, inner ankles squeezing. So we're activating all those stiff points. Sucking the low belly in as we lift the chest high. Everything's working, everything's turned on. If you hold this pose for a few minutes per day, you're gonna see huge differences in your whole body. One more breath here. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower the hands down to your side. So let's meet at the top of our mat. And since we love that chair pose so much, let's do it again. Inhale, standing nice and tall, arms touch overhead. And then bringing the hands to heart center, let's sit back, chair pose. So again, everything's squeezing into the midline. Our ankles are engaged, knees squeezing together. And sit nice and low, shifting the weight back towards the back of the mat. Maybe your toes even come off the mat. And as we sit low, our chest lifts nice and high here. Low belly tucked in and engaged. Now from here, let's shift the weight into the right foot. Start to lift the left leg off the mat. And then slowly step it back for a low lunge. Feel the weight even in both feet. And this is a great stretch to start opening up the hips, really engaging the legs and rebuilding some of that muscle that might start to atrophy over the time from sitting too long. Inhale, let's bring the arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist it open to the side. Left arm coming out in front of you, right arm behind you. Maybe the gaze starts to shift towards that back hand. As we twist, think about really opening up, shoulders dropped away from the ears. All these twists are really detoxifying for the back. They're gonna send lubrication to the spine. Really great to counteract those sitting long days in your chair. One more inhale here. And then exhale, left hand drops down to the mat. Inhale, send that right arm up to the sky for a revolved, twisted lunge. If you like, you can drop that back knee if it's getting a little too much here. Try to keep it lifted and really engage both legs as we're really building strength in the lower body. On your next exhale, let's bring that front foot back a little bit, rotate the foot out to the side, and come to the knife edge of that back foot as we lift the hips up to the sky, stretching out the IT band and outer hip and glute area. That's probably so sore from sitting. This is such a nice stretch. And you might need to kind of go up and down with your hips to find the right spot for you. Just wherever you feel it, that's really stretching this outer area. Breathing, always breathing. And when you're ready, let's exhale, bring that top hand back down, rotate back to the top of the mat, and then inhale, left leg up to meet the right, forward fold. On your next inhale, bend those knees, sit back, chair pose. By now, everything should be feeling nice and juicy and open. Everything's working hard. You might be shaking a little bit. That's great. That means your muscles are working. Now we're gonna take the other side. So slowly start to shift the weight into the left foot this time. Right foot slowly comes off the mat. Maybe pick a point to focus on so you can help your balance. And when you're ready, kick that right leg back for a nice wide lunge here. Now imagine scissoring your inner thighs together, creating some resistance and building back those inner thigh muscles that might have also started to weaken over time. Inhale, chest lifts. Let's bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, we're gonna twist to the other side. Left arm behind you, right arm out in front. Nice deep twist here. With every exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. And again, if you need to drop that bottom knee, that's totally fine. You can still really twist here. But if you want to get the full maximum benefit out of this pose, maybe try to keep that leg high and lifted. One more breath here. exhale, let's bring the right arm down to the mat, pressing into that palm. Twist even deeper as the left arm comes up to the sky. Again, sending lubrication to the spine here. Nice chest opener. And then, now when you're ready, let's bring that left foot a little closer to the center of the mat and turn it out to the side. We're gonna come onto the knife edge of that right leg. And inhale, press those hips up to the sky, really stretching out the IT band and glutes on the left side. If you'd like to kick it up a notch, you could always lower and raise the hips. Do a little pulsing action here. As long as you're really feeling a nice juicy stretch, that area often gets overlooked when we're sitting and when we're stagnant. One more breath here. And exhale, let's bring that left hand back down. Turn the feet forward, step it back up. And let's come into a low squat this time and just take a few bounces here, kind of shaking it out. When you're ready, we'll press back up, forward fold, and then bending those knees, slowly roll up all the way to stand. Once there, roll the shoulders back, standing nice and tall, energy coursing through that whole body, and feeling amazing as I do. So that concludes the follow along portion of this video. Stay tuned for a few more tips to help you integrate some of this stuff during the day. So I just have a few helpful tips for you if you are sitting all day. So tip number 1, try not to sit for longer than an hour at a time. Maybe just stand up, take a walk around the office or your home, take a quick forward fold or chair pose or anything you learned in this video today, just to change it up a little so you're not sitting for extended periods of time. My second tip is try to get at least 30 minutes of movement or activity in per day. And that doesn't have to be strenuous exercise. It could be as simple as, again, like taking a little walk around, maybe putting on your favorite song and dancing a little, just to get the body moving from that stagnant sitting position. My third tip is to check in with your posture regularly. Maybe you could set a little alarm on your phone every 30 minutes or so and just build some awareness in the body. Notice if you're slouching forward and see if you can sit upright, send those shoulders back, elbows tucked in, and really improve your posture over time. And also notice your chin. If it's sticking too far out, that's gonna cause some neck pain over time, kind of bringing it back in towards the body. So just check in with that posture every now and again. And my fourth tip is maybe consider getting a standing desk. So it's really good for the body to interchange the sitting and standing throughout your day. If you get a standing desk, you don't have to stand the whole day. Maybe just in 10 or 15-minute increments as you switch back sitting and standing. That's really gonna help fight some of that muscle atrophy from sitting. It'll help increase the circulation in the body, in the blood, and in the lymphatic system. And it'll help keep your metabolism more active from when you're sitting and your metabolism starts to slow down. So now let me tell you why we love FlexiSpot. So FlexiSpot desks are awesome because you can place them on your regular desk. It's also really easy to interchange from sitting and standing features, moving nice and smoothly through both of those. There's lots of options to choose from, and there's no assembly required. These are super sturdy, high quality pieces of equipment that'll last you a long time, and you don't have to be worried about your computer falling off or anything crazy like that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you can utilize some of these tips and tricks into your regular routine. And please leave me your feedback. I'd love to hear from you, love to see how this is feeling on the body. And we'll see you again soon on your mat. Namaste.